Okay, a few things to know about flooring. Now, we're going to probably talk about this in person when I come meet you at the house. But just in case you were wondering, these are some things I want you to know about flooring, and it relates to wear and tear. Now, the first thing is carpets. In 90% of the houses that I deal with, even the nicer ones, most people get what we call builder grade carpet. It sounds like just what it is. This is the grade that the builder can get away with, the cheapest and best that he can get away with, that most of the time is designed to pass VA standards. For those of you who don't know, that's a VA loan which is specific to the military or former servicemen. So you get builder grade carpet. What that has is a 5 to 7 year window of life. That's the shelf life. Anything after 7 years, even sometimes 5, those carpets are on borrowed time. And what makes them go down and how they normally wear is just like it says, it's traffic patterns. You know, in a master bedroom, most of the time there's outlets on either side of the wall, and that's where the bed goes. Well, all around there is where people walk. They do this. They go into the bathroom. They go down the hallway, up the stairs, guest room. You know, from here to there, there to there, same thing. And over time, at the seams are usually in the doorways. You'll start seeing the fraying of the edges, and it starts kind of coming apart and doing its thing. That's how it works. And you need to know that, because if we have carpets that you've lived on for the last 7 years and they still look great, that's good. But just know that 3 years from now, when the tenant moves out, if there's frayed edges and I say, hey, we got to replace these, don't get a bunch of heartburn, because that's the truth. That's where the carpets are. And you probably could enjoy the tax write-off when you do it. And you get a new product. And you don't have to worry for 5 to 7 more years. But carpets they die over time. That's what they do. Which brings us to the next thing. A lot of people will put in an LTV or a laminate product. These have come a long way. When we get to your house, we'll really go through this all together. But the LTV flooring has really come a long way. It's a really good product now. I'm still not a big fan of it in the wet areas. I don't like that in the kitchen areas. I prefer tile or just your standard linoleum. But you know, sometimes it's there, and we'll talk about that for sure. As far as real hardwood floors, this is a tricky one, because real hardwood floors over time, they do get little nicks and scratches. If you have a pet, or you've had a pet, or they have a pet, you know, it's basically a wax barrier that's on top. And then over time it gets a little rough, and it gets beyond that. There's going to be a time when you have hardwood floors, whether you've lived there or a tenant's lived there, where they're going to need to be refinished at some point. Finding someone to do that, tough. That's a dying art. You talk about if you want to make some money, get in the hardwood floor refinishing business, because no one apparently wants to do it. It's very difficult to find. But if you do have hardwood floors, we'll kind of diagnose it. And don't get me wrong, if a tenant takes, you know, if there's a humongous gouge, you know, that's a 1/4 inch deep all the way through the living room, that's going to be their problem. I've seen that before, where a moving company does something like that, and they pay for it. But, you know, I just really want to touch base on that. Tile, real quick, with tile, there's two kinds of tile: that which has cracked and that which will at some point, or that grout which has come up and that which will. It's not a everlasting product, especially if maybe you didn't do the tile, but the homeowner before you did, and it was a really suspect job. Let's don't be surprised when, you know, the tenant puts a work order in because there's cracked tile and they're scared their 2-year-old's going to cut his foot. We have to take that seriously. Hey, real quick, thanks for watching these videos. I hope you're learning a lot about our company, and I hope you want to work with us. If you do, please, by all means, if it's during business hours, give us a call right now, and we'll definitely talk with you about your property. If not, fill out this form below. Give us your email, your phone number, your name, and most importantly, the property address that you want us to manage. If it's a property that fits into what we do, then we're obviously going to talk with you. If it's not a property that doesn't really fit with what I do, I'm still going to call you, and I'm going to give you some options of some great people that I know, and maybe that'll work for you. So you can't lose. I want to talk about your property one way or the other. Thanks again for watching. Hey, and if you're still watching, keep on watching because I got a bunch of stuff to talk about in these videos, as you're seeing.